you have to be able to know yourself and love yourself enough to say, I feel uncomfortable. And because I feel uncomfortable, I'm going to tell you. What happens is a lot of times women and girls, we grow up like, be polite. And the thing is that we're being taught literally to be silenced.
A lot of people talk about abuse, domestic violence, awareness surrounding domestic violence, domestic abuse. What is the difference between domestic abuse and domestic violence? There are many ways that someone can be in an abusive relationship. I have spent a lifetime in domestic violence and leaving domestic violence situations. I understand how complicated and complex the subject is. I know what it is like to be in a situation that you want to leave desperately, but you have no idea how to do so. I couldn't see the abuse. I didn't believe I was being abused, and therefore I stayed. I thought I could be the change. I thought I could change that person. If I just loved them enough, if I was good enough, if I could be the best wife, the best mother, then the situation would change. I felt so alone. Abuse is many different things. It takes on many different forms and it wears many different masks. It's important to recognize the red flags early on. This is the best way that we can keep ourselves safe. These are lessons that I've learned over years and years of being in these situations and finally getting to a point in my life where I could recognize what the red flag was, what I could do to keep myself safe, to keep my children safe moving forward. This is a conversation that needs to be had. People need to be able to say, this is my story. This is what I experienced. People are finally opening their eyes to the fact that this could even be a woman against a man against a woman, two women, two men. Gender doesn't really play the role in whether you're being abused or not. Literally anyone could be abused by someone that they love. In the case of domestic abuse or domestic violence, it's not specific to one gender. So it's important to understand that if you're in a situation where something does not feel right, where you are being put down, where someone is purposefully saying things that are making you feel shamed or put down or making you feel like you're crazy for having normal feelings and emotions, like gaslighting or physical violence. But domestic abuse doesn't always look like physical violence. It looks like walking on eggshells, not knowing what you're going to have to explain or re-explain that day once that individual gets home. Being terrified to say or do anything, having to change yourself and not speak up and compromise on who you are and how you feel and being the person that you are naturally to make someone else happy. Those things are all red flags. You should never have to change who you are in order for someone to love you. You shouldn't have to earn someone's love by proving that you can be whoever they want you to be. If you get into a situation where you're feeling like you desperately want to be in a partnership, you desperately want to be with someone, you don't want to be alone. You're afraid to be alone. This does put you at risk. It puts you at risk for being vulnerable to someone who can control and manipulate you. Domestic abuse looks like control and manipulation. Mental, emotional, spiritual, monetary control is wrong. Relationships are partnerships. Home should not be a space where you feel scared, afraid, intimidated. It makes me think of a time where my best friend came to me and said to me, I don't even know who you are. My best friend is dead. Those words, I'll never forget. Those words woke me up. There are pivotal moments in your life where you know that it's time to make a change. If any of this resonates with you, please take a deeper look. Take into consideration that you are worthy, that your life is valuable and priceless and unique, and you are worth saving. I hope that if you're in a situation where you're scared, you have the right to get up and leave. You do not have to be abused by anyone. You are worthy. You have the right to walk into any room and shine your light brightly. Don't allow anyone to dim your light. Don't accept less than your worth. Stand up for yourself. You're worth it. If you had the entire world's attention for 30 seconds, what would you say?
You are important. You are incredible. You are an incredible creation that is unique like a fingerprint. No one else can ever replace you. You're irreplaceable.